Hey guys, you are listening to Fandom Family Chats. This is a production of Family Fan Clubs on Facebook. You can find us all over Facebook. You can find us all over social media under Fandom Family Chats. Look us up, get dialed in, get plugged in, and get ready to listen to some crazy people talk crazy stuff. I am your host, Maureen.
I'm Jeanette.
I'm Eve.
I'm Amanda.
Whoop, whoop. And today we are bringing you Outer Banks. And we are talking Pogues versus Kooks. Those are just fun words to say. I just like saying Pogues and Kooks.
I agree.
Anyone see Step Brothers? And
Yes.
out of character for me, but that song Boats and Hoes. Someone needs to make a song about Pogues and Kooks. The two of Boats and Hoes.
Yes. We need somebody to
that.
song.
If you're watching this, John B, what's your real name?
Chase Stokes.
Chase Stokes. I know you can do that. I have a sixth sense that you can create a rap song called Pogues and Kooks. Get that done.
It's so fun.
Yes, please.
If you can make it sound like something from The Doors, that's even better.
Oh no, please don't do that.
I
I will.
Amanda to freak out.
I would probably. He would move up the chain to my number one.
So let's
That's
dive in.
something
Who is
from-
your number one, Amanda? Oh,
Who's my number one? Is Ian.
no, of Outer Banks.
Oh, Outer Banks. Outer
Yes.
Banks. My favorite is John B. Sorry.
Let's chat about John B for a minute. Now we're gonna go through Pogues first because Pogues are so much better than the Kooks.
Absolutely.
Most of the Kooks are psychopaths and sociopaths.
You still
So
like them though?
yeah,
I do.
They're very colorful people.
Goes both ways. You love him and you hate him.
yes. So John B.
Oh, so John B. John B is my favorite. And you guys all know my obsession, but everybody out here who doesn't know my obsession, I'm in real life obsessed with Jim Morrison from The Doors.
I mean, that's justifiable.
Yeah. I mean, could you imagine if we got more, not to go off on Jim Morrison, but could you imagine if we got more Jim Morrison music and he didn't die when he was so young?
That would be amazing.
So John B, he's like the narrator. I feel like he's kind of is he our main?
Yes,
I think
I
he's
would
our
say
main
he's the leader of the pack on this.
You
Yeah.
think so? I always feel bad saying like John B's the
No, I think he is. Because the story starts with revolving around him. So
Mhm.
I think it definitely, he's the main character.
main character. All right. Well, usually I don't fall in love with the main character. And I did on this one.
I
So
mean, he is pretty spectacular though.
Yeah.
he is. So John B. His dad had went missing at sea. How do we say that?
Presumed dead.
Presumed dead. There you go. He was presumed dead, is presumed dead out at sea. And he was doing a treasure hunt. And now John B has kind of taken over that treasure hunt with his fellow Pogues, who's, I was about to say Eve. Are you a Pogue, Eve?
I can be.
I want to
just
be a
saw your
Pogue.
face.
I'd much rather be a Pogue than a Kook.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
mean, I want the money of a Kook,
That's it.
the attitude of a Pogue.
That's it.
That'd be perfect.
I want to be a
you want-
Pogue who's gone full Kook.
You want to
So-
be Key. I mean, she's got
I
the
don't
best
want to
of
be
both
Key. I don't want to
We
be
want to
Key.
be key.
I'm
do.
talking John B right now. We are talking John
get
B
back
right
to-
now.
We'll get back to why you want to be Key. I'll talk about that in a minute.
And I still can't call her Key. I know everybody does. I can't. I have to say Kiara.
Oh,
Every
that's her real name. I forgot what her real name was.
Weird.
Kiara.
Yeah, I know.
I can't say Key. I always want to say Kai, and that's not it. So I just say Kiara.
The boys call her Key, so I call her Key.
And what I like about John B is that he's a Pogue, but he doesn't care where you come from.
No.
Yeah.
He loves
Yeah.
everybody.
And he's generally a good dude. Like he's genuinely a good guy.
He is. I think he's the best. Between him and Pope.
Yeah.
Who do
Way
you
to
think's
throw
the best
JJ under the bus there.
character?
Pope is the more innocent, I would
Yeah.
say.
I would say that.
Yeah.
He is the more innocent, but John B's like he's kind of like, I think that's why he's like kind of the leader of the Pogues, because he has that heart.
Yeah.
He cares.
Yeah.
And he will do anything for you. Really, I think he would do anything for you, whether you're a Pogue or a Kook.
Oh yeah, I think so.
If he saw you drowning in the water, he wouldn't care what side you're from.
Yeah, exactly. Which I can't say that about all the Pogues.
No.
Nope.
Not that I
No, it's true.
disagree.
Yeah, it's true.
But my John B just has a heart of gold. And he's not going to hurt a fly if he doesn't have to.
Nope.
But he will.
I was just going to say, but he will.
He will.
If he needs to. If it's going to protect somebody also. That's the thing that's fair with him. He's only going to hurt you if you're trying to hurt him or hurt somebody he loves.
Yeah.
I think that's the great thing about John B. Not that I don't love every Pogue, because I do.
Yeah.
I mean, JJ's right in second for me. Like, he should pretty much just jump on John B's back. We're going to put him in order. For reasons.
I like that visual that just popped in my head though. I love it.
Okay, so what is JJ's real name?
It's just JJ, I think.
No,
I don't
the actor.
Oh, okay. Rudy. How do you say his last name? Because Pankow.
Yeah.
Rudy. That's right. Yeah.
Rudy.
Rudy.
I know Rudy. So.
Rudy and Chase, I'm willing to bet money, not a lot, maybe a quarter, that you are listening to this right now. And if you are, please put a picture on Instagram or TikTok of you two piggybacking, because that would be phenomenal. We'd really like to see that.
That would make our life.
Yes.
Please do that.
And everybody else's, I think.
Like,
you're right, though.
When you guys are thinking about your favorite characters, how do you think about them?
Exactly that, but reversed.
What do you mean reversed?
JJ with John B on his back.
I feel like poor JJ, that would be tough to carry. John B is a lot bigger than him. That's even a funnier visual.
JJ has muscles though.
That's true. He does.
I think JJ could carry John B if needed.
Yeah, he could.
Yeah.
See, now I'm visualizing JJ on top of, or I guess Rudy on top of Drew's back, if I'm picturing my favorite character. So that's even better.
We're not getting into your twisted favorite yet.
I know.
We are
Sorry.
not going there yet.
Wait, my turn.
I think the other thing that I like about John B that you can use to kind of describe is when he finds out when Ward is like, he has an inkling on the boat when he's out with Ward fishing. And you know he does, because there's a reason he won't tell Ward what he wants to know. There's a reason he's keeping a secret from him. I don't think he really understands why, but his gut is saying, don't trust this crazy dude. But then when he goes back and he finds the gun, and he doesn't say anything to Key or Pope or JJ, and just walks off with a gun towards Ward. And finally he's like, he killed my dad. And then he drives up. But even then he can't go through with it. What he does is he takes Sarah out of the house.
Yeah.
He doesn't go for Ward. He could have. He didn't. He went to Sarah, talked to her, pulled her out of the house. And even then he was filled with that much rage and he still didn't pull the trigger. Whereas you look at someone else, like some other crazy people who would have zero problem shooting a gun for lesser reasons.
Oh. I have no idea who you're talking about right.
As we see.
No.
And I like that JJ or that JJ. He's my favorite. JJ's my favorite. I love John B, but JJ's my favorite. But I like John B, how he is he really tries to push for everyone's voices to be heard.
Yeah.
He doesn't he doesn't care where you're from, but he pushes for everyone's voices to be heard. And there's the other scene I like with him is when he's telling Sarah, oh, everyone's gonna be fine if you come over. Everyone's gonna be fine. And then they're sitting it's the first time she comes over to their little clubhouse. And John B can't handle all of the tension, and he's trying to please everybody at the same time.
And he was just so surprised that it didn't go over well. I'm like,
he was
John
really
B,
surprised.
Like, John B, I love you, but you had to know this wasn't going to go over well at all.
I think he did. Because even when she says that everyone's okay with it, he was like, yeah. And his voice went up a couple octaves when he said yeah. So
I think he just thought that if we just got him in the situation, it would just somehow work out.
Yeah.
And everything would be fine. But obviously Key was not going to have any part of that.
No.
So.
And it was his idea to lock them on a boat until they got along. It was his idea to leave and save them. It did, yeah. It
worked.
All the things that happened that were good were his idea. I mean, also
I think
all the things that were really bad ideas were a lot of his ideas too.
I was gonna say, as far as the Key and Sarah makeup, JJ leaving them their present, I think really helped as well, though. I think that really is what put it over the edge.
I think at first it was not helpful though.
I think it ended up being helpful.
It did in the end, but when Sarah kept going, "Hey, Key," or what was she saying?
Remember?
She was saying
I
something
don't
like,
remember.
"Hey, Key, would you rather be this or this? Would you rather have this or this?" So at first it wasn't helpful, but I mean, John B, he's a genuinely good guy. He's a genuinely good human. He generally doesn't care where you came from unless you're an a-hole, and then he wants nothing to do with you. So he's choosy in that way about who he hangs around, who stays around him. And I mean, you look at his house. Everyone's living in his house. His friends are living in his house with him. Pope does go home, but Key, for the most part, is at John B's house. Yeah, she also goes home, but JJ is living there instead of being with his dad. So John B rescues him from his psychopath father. So I mean, he's the protector. And I think that he's the leader because he does protect all of them, and because he doesn't care what side of the tracks you come from, as long as you're a decent human being.
Yeah, I agree.
He provides a safe space for everybody.
Everybody, and I think that's what makes him the leader.
Yeah. He's loyal.
Yes, he's very loyal. Well, my favorite is JJ. Eve, who's your favorite?
Oh, JJ is my favorite. You can't have him.
Well, then you talk about him.
So I didn't love him.
Look at her blush. I don't think I've ever seen Eve like this.
I didn't love him at first because when we first saw him, because I remember it was right after the storm, and like he was just sleeping on John B's couch, and he was like, "No, I can't move, dude. I got polio," or something. And I was like, "Oh, great! This is gonna be like the dumbass of the group," and I'm not into this. But then
I mean, to be fair,
It's true, but
but
He makes up for it.
yeah, he's such a good friend. He's very protective of the people he loves. I mean, he's not like John B, where he's just wants everyone to get along, but he's definitely protective of the people that he does care about. Like, you know, when he really coached Pope through destroying Topper's family's boat. Yep, doing that, and then he
took the fall.
He took the fall for it. And then who was it? Pope's dad said, "Find better friends." I was like, yeah, well, he's not going to find better friends. I'm sorry.
No.
Well, in that instance, like that was one of my favorite JJ moments because not only did he just take the fall, but I mean, if we think about the fallout for JJ because of that, and he knew that's what it would be, and he still did it. And that I think it just shows a lot of his character. Like I think he wants to, just probably what I like about him. This is my type. He wants to put on this like tough front, but then deep down he's not like that. I mean, he's a good guy. Even he just protects himself by acting like this tough guy.
Yeah.
Well, he has to. He doesn't really have much of a choice.
Right.
You know, that lousy excuse for father that he has.
Yeah.
That guy irks me.
I can't talk about that guy with any sort of calmness at all.
Oh God. Yeah.
Like at all.
I just kept thinking he was going to redeem himself, you know?
I hoped for it
Like,
until
kept
the first time he
waiting for
punched
it.
JJ.
Right.
And then I was like, I don't think he is.
No.
No.
The moment he hit JJ, I'm like, all right, I'm done with you.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're done.
Don't you
heart.
hit my JJ. Ugh.
That scene where JJ spends all that money on a hot tub and those lights,
Oh, that hurt my heart.
and I can't
That
like.
scene,
I'm getting emotional.
it started out so funny, and then it quickly turned into like, I mean, made me cry when
When
he
he stood up,
Yeah.
he stood up and he gets in there and hugs him, and the way I watch that all the time, that little clip, because the way he hugs her so tight and just falls into her shoulder. I mean, it's
well, I mean, and when he stood up too, you see all those bruises and all those scars all over his body, and then what does he say? He says something like, "I just want to make the right choice," or something. What does he say?
Like he was like, "I just wanted to do something nice for my friends."
Yes.
Like I thought this was fun. I wanted to do something nice for my friends. I'm like, come on, guys, he wanted to do something nice for his friends.
and I think and they realized at that moment, like, you know, we can't even scold him over this. We just need to like love him right now.
And Pope too got right in there. That just, I mean, if there's a way to describe JJ, it's that right there. Like he doesn't want to make the choices he's making, but he needs to escape his reality or he's going to lose it completely and die.
Well, and I think his desire to make others happy is because he's always felt like his father, he's such a disappointment to everyone else. And so he just tries so hard to make others happy, which is just so sad.
I mean, even the cops in that town say, I mean, this is your fate anyway. You're going to end up here anyway. Like, oh my gosh, you people suck.
Yeah. They just all put him down.
Yes. It makes me mad. That one of my favorite scenes though is like right after he says goodbye to his dad, and I was just like, thank God you're gonna leave. And then he punished him a little bit too by taking the drugs he stole. But when he got back to the swamp, what does he say? Because he says, like they say in Spanish, was it "c'est la vie"? Is that what he said?
No, like the Spanish bon voyage.
Bon voyage. Sean B's just like, it's not the right language. But all he was trying to do was to get them to stop focusing on what he saw as tiny little problems when he saw what was really true, actual problems. I mean, having your leg almost chewed off by a gator, kind of a big deal.
Yeah, that's a
but
big deal.
I mean, the rest of the crap that they were bickering and fighting over, nothing in comparison to what JJ's life has been up until that point.
Yeah.
I mean, that the other scene that made me cry is that when they just showed when he was getting beat up by his dad in the truck, and they just showed the truck moving. Oh my gosh, I've never wanted to kill a fictional character more than I want to kill that man.
And the fact that happens, like, I mean, basically out in public, and there's no other adult in that town that will stand up for him and like help him, makes me so angry.
That's something I have a problem with, because, you know, the like Pope's parents, I mean, he isn't home a lot, but you know, his parents seem to be one of the more present. Even they're like, you know, putting JJ down. It's like he's no good. It's like they have to know what he's going through.
Absolutely.
The fact that they're putting him down this bad just is very unsettling. But I did love how it was at the end of season 1 when John B and Sarah disappeared, and then all the parents were there, and Pope's parents brought JJ in. I was like, okay, good, we're getting But it does bother me that they're not more open towards JJ.
I think up until that point, it was they hated his father so much, and all they could see in him was his father. So I don't know that they necessarily knew that he was getting beat. I think that they saw, he's just a replica of his father, and his father's a piece of crap human being. Yeah.
They're just expecting JJ to be exactly like his dad, and that's all they're going to see him for.
But they should see that he's coming to school and around town beat up, and no one has beat him up. So I mean, they should be able to put two together that his dad's a piece of crap human being.
You would think so. Some people, I mean, everyday life, some people just put on blinders and they don't want to speak up.
My poor guy.
That's sad.
Yeah.
Nothing but bad things need to happen to JJ's dad. That's all I have left to say about that. Nothing but bad things for him.
Like gone.
Yeah, he better not show up again.
I don't want to see him anymore.
I don't think he will. I mean, he was in season 2.
Yeah.
But I don't think he'll come back. I think, I don't know.
He could.
Because he doesn't have any drugs. So he's got to come back, and I guarantee that he'll need that at some point, and he'll try to convince, because JJ's the only person he's got who he can get to do what he wants.
Yeah.
Man, I hope not. That would suck.
Yeah.
I do hope that Key is a little more there for JJ though.
I hope she's a lot more there for JJ next season. That's what I'm hoping for.
I love her.
So who is Key?
Key is our only, I guess, female Pogue.
Technically not a Pogue, but heart Pogue.
Oh, she's a Pogue. I don't
I
don't consider her a kook at all. Sarah is sort of in the middle, but not Key for me. But I know, I don't know, Amanda, do you like her? Because we were talking about this earlier, and the other two do not like her.
Well, I don't love her.
I'm the only one.
But it's like, I don't hate her also. I do like some of her stuff.
But by that,
when she yelled.
Yes. Okay, that moment was terrible. I agree.
So I hate it. Then, I started like picking at her, everything she did after that, because it put a really bad taste in my mouth about the character.
I mean, how stupid do you have to be?
why did you do that? Why would you do that?
What purpose did it serve at
was
all?
I remember I yelled at the screen, like,
I did
what
too.
is wrong with you? But I think the same thing that made her do that is one of the things that I love about her, even though I didn't like that moment. And I think it's because she's so fierce and she's so passionate about the things that she cares about. And so I love that about her, in that, you know, when you see her, these boys getting in these fights, she's not standing off the side like a lot of girls would. She jumps right in there, hops on the back of one of them, like just jumping right into all of it. She's not afraid to stand up for everybody. And so that I really appreciate about her. And I mean, those boys, I mean, like she would do anything for those boys.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, I don't know, all of them are really loyal friends. So that's a trait you could put on all four of these characters.
I agree with that.
But no, I mean, I think we were joking. So I'm gonna come back to my points on why, if you want to pick one, you want to be Key. Okay. First of all, she has the money of a kook.
Does she?
I think she does.
Yeah.
Didn't her parents just cut her off?
Well, it's okay.
Her family does.
I feel like they cut her off all the time.
Yeah, I think she'll be back. That's like the rated.
It's a cycle.
But she's got the heart of a Pogue, which we said we all want. And okay, she's made out with John B, with Pope, and will, I'm hoping, make out with JJ next season. So
Fingers.
I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. Just saying.
Did she do a little more than make out with Pope?
Well, she did more than make out with Pope, yeah.
That's
But
what we want.
she's not my favorite. I mean, they're not my favorite couple, so just ignore that.
Well, they're not my favorite couple on the show, but
I want her with JJ, like 110%.
yeah, I want them to be in game.
Yeah.
The reason I want her with JJ, though, even though I don't like Key's character, and I'll tell you why I don't like her character in a minute, but the reason I want her with JJ is because JJ wants her, but not because, ooh, I'm so attracted to you. It's because of how she makes him feel as a human being. And
Yeah.
I think JJ needs to be with someone who can make him feel like he matters.
Oh, absolutely.
And I
Yes,
think that
agreed.
he does that for him.
And I mean, like, if we think back to the moment when he did see his dad for the last time and she had took him there, the way that she stood up for him, the way she spoke to him, like about JJ, I was just like, God, I love it. I mean, you can tell that, I mean, she feels, I don't know if it's romantic. I mean, I hope that it turns into that.
I think it is.
But either way, she loves him. And I mean, she's not afraid to like stand up for him. And I was
Honestly, I
proud.
think that's why why she shut down John B so fast and why she couldn't stick it out with Pogue or with
Yeah.
Pope is because I think she actually feels something for JJ.
Yeah, maybe she doesn't realize it yet, but I think she does.
I think part of her does because you see the way she looks at him too.
Yeah. Oh, one of my favorite moments, I'm just gonna throw it out here, is it's in season 2, and it's when they're in like that little cargo, like on that big boat or whatever, they're in that cargo room. And they're talking about, I can't even remember exactly what we're talking about, but he's talking about his dreams and stuff like that. And she says, can I come too? And just the look on his face. And he's like, yeah. It was just like, oh my God.
I know.
No, so they're talking about what they were going to do with their money. And he's like, if I have unlimited resources, I'm just going to surf.
Yeah.
I'm just going to travel. I'm just going to surf.
Yeah.
Why I don't like Key is because I think she can be too petty.
Which I can, yeah.
It
I
annoys
can see
me.
that too.
So
Yeah.
I guess I don't hate her. She has
Yeah.
a lot of good things. I don't hate her. I don't particularly like her character because I think she's too petty.
Well, and I think, and I'll even say, even though I do love her, she's really impulsive. So a lot of times she doesn't think, hence the moment when she yells, she doesn't think about the consequences past that moment. And, you know,
And
that's
once a
obviously
grudge
not
is
good.
made, that grudge stays, whether it's
Right.
deserved or not. The
Yep.
thing with Sarah, she did call the cops on that party. And
Yeah.
you're mad at her for blaming you for calling the cops. You did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did call the cops.
I love their beef because it to me felt like such real, like 14-year-old girl beef that would totally ruin a friendship.
Yeah.
And just be like over something so silly.
Definitely.
Just,
But what I didn't like about it though, yeah, when you're 14, sure, fun, funny, ha ha
Right.
ha. But now you're giving John B crap over being with someone who is genuinely good for him and who he's genuinely good for. You're gonna
You think-
harass him and try to make him choose between the two of you for that, and then you're gonna go and pout on a dock when he doesn't choose you instantly, when you force him to choose between you and
Yeah.
some girl that he's in love with. No.
I
don't
think a
be
lot of
petty about
that is, I think she's possessive of these boys. Like, and I
It
think
is.
she, and
She
you
has no
know,
right to be.
she doesn't, but I can see where. I mean, she's just being overly protective of him, I think.
I think part of it is that she
okay.
doesn't want them to be with anyone other than who she chooses. I don't even think it's that she does it. I think she just wants to choose who they're with. Because whoever they choose is going to be a part of her life.
Yeah,
No,
I don't
she
think
doesn't.
wants to do
Absolutely,
that.
she doesn't.
Yeah.
Because she's the one girl in a group of good-looking dudes.
I think she likes it, you know, and I think she comes to terms with that, and then that changes in that. I mean,
that's when I start to like her.
Become quickly they become friends fairly quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I want to ask you all, and I don't know that I believe this, but I've seen this like on TikTok. People want to talk about chemistry between Key and Rafe, and I don't know if I see it, but there is a way that
Key would murder him in a hot second.
Exactly, I agree, but it's just funny because I see people like shipping them all the time, which I don't, because like I said, I want her with JJ.
No, that's.
But it is funny that he picks on her in a way, like almost in that childish, like.
He has the hots for her. She's beautiful.
Yeah, so that may be it. I don't know.
And clearly, Rafe doesn't have any issues slumming unless it's like around his friends. If he can get something from you, like the drug dealer. I mean, he slums it with the drug dealer because he can get him drugs. I'm pretty sure he would slum it with Key if she would give it up for him.
Sure. Yeah.
Not in public, obviously he wouldn't, but
yeah.
No, that's weird.
I think you shared some TikToks a little while back, and I watched them, and I was like, this is an interesting edit, but I'm not buying it at all.
It's out there.
That's weird. That's real weird.
Well, it can stay out there. I'm just not buying it.
I think the other reason I don't like Key is because I think she did Pope dirty. I mean, she knew when she took him onto the beach that she didn't want anything else. She knew that she just was like, you know what? John B has Sarah, so Pope's super willing. I'm going to take Pope.
I don't know if she knew. I don't know.
I think she did because she didn't really look that happy to go through with it. When she walked up to him on the beach, she was like, you wanna? Let's go. And she just didn't look very happy or excited about it at all. And then the next day when Pope's like, hey, we're a thing now, we slept together, she wouldn't even like let him touch her, put his arm around her, nothing. Yeah. And I love Pope. And I think that for me, Pope is like JJ's my favorite because JJ is broken and he's hurting and he needs someone to love him and really show him who he is and what his value is. But I love Pope because I think Pope is also, I mean, yeah, they're all loyal, but he's also one who's genuinely good.
Yeah.
He wants to follow the rules as much as he can. He wants to help his friends out in every way he can. But he's another one who's kind of like John B, not to the extent John B is, but where he doesn't care where you come from as long as you're a decent human being.
Yeah. I think I'm weird because he is by far my least favorite of the Pogues.
He's
I
mine
don't
too.
dislike him. I mean, I don't have anything bad to say about him. I probably don't really have much good to say about him either.
You don't have anything good to say about Pope?
Not really. He bores me.
But he's a good person.
He's a good person. And so there's my good thing to say about him. But now I think he's almost too good. So like going forward, when he met Cleo at the end of that, I kind of hope that transitions into something because maybe she can sort of loosen him up to a point that I can enjoy
in a healthy way.
Right.
Because when JJ loosens him up, clearly that's a problem.
Bad combination.
My poor JJ.
The look on Key and JJ's face though when he went postal on that stuff. Like, yep. What did JJ say? Did he say, I told him this was going to happen?
I think so. It was something along those lines.
But when Pope goes on a bender because he's just trying, and he is too uptight. I will give you that. He is too uptight, but it's because he feels all the pressures of needing to get out of where he's at. And I do like, though, I didn't notice this until my second watch. Every time they find something, you can hear Pope in the background go, is it a dead body?
Oh, that's so funny.
I'm worried.
That's our introduction. And at first, like the first time I heard him say it, I was like, oh, is he afraid? Because I forgot that when we first meet Pope and John B is giving the narration of who they are. And Pope is like talking to this girl at a party about what a dead body looks like and how it decomposes. And John B's like, some of us are just weird. And then he talks about how he wants to be, what is the name? A police officer who looks like the dead body. Coroner. He wants to be a coroner.
Oh, coroner. I was thinking morgue, and I was like, that's not what they're called.
So
Yeah, I was thinking mortician.
Yeah, there
so
you go.
every time they find something, he's not asking in fear, is there a dead body? He's asking because he really wants to go look at that dead body. Like,
Yeah.
that added a whole new twist to your personality, Pope.
He makes me laugh.
He
I'll give him
does.
that.
Yes.
Like, he's probably my least favorite out of the 4. Probably out of the 5.
He's
if you're
below.
put Sarah up there,
Yeah, me too.
like number 5 for me.
I mean, he's below Rafe for me. So
Not me.
Not me. Disclaimer for those of you who have been living under a rock and not watching our podcast, and if you haven't watched the rest of our other podcasts, go watch our other podcast episodes. Jeanette likes the crazy ones, not just crazy, psychotic ones. Better if they're criminal or murderous.
She doesn't care. She doesn't
she
take
don't
sides.
She
discriminate.
prefers it.
He likes the bad boys.
I mean, it makes life more interesting. Oh,
It does. So I think too, with like Pope, you can tell with like when he goes into the interview or he's about to go through that scholarship interview, and they say to him, or his dad's talking to him, he's trying to say, you got to go through this, go through this, go through this, go through this. And he feels that pressure from his parents. Not that his parents are like, hey, you have to be better than this, but his parents just want good things for him. So he feels all that pressure, but he leaves it instantly when he realizes what's going on with his friends.
Mhm.
Instantly, he gives no regard for himself at all, and he leaves to go help his friends out of what they're going through. And then you
Yeah.
see towards the end of season 2, you start to see a whole different side of Pope, where he's like, no, this is my family stuff, these are my things, and I'm going to go get my family stuff. And I think that that's going to be a running thing in there, but I think Cleo needs to tamp it down a little bit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because Pope has 2 sides and there's no in between. It's either way too rigid and uptight, or whoa, too far, man, too far.
Right.
I don't know if you guys watched The New Girl, but he's like Winston with his pregnancy.
Yes.
Either
Massive
yes.
overcorrect.
feather in the shoe, way too small, man, or a blueberry in your cereal. What is that going to do to anybody? But you let a badger loose at a wedding, probably too far. A little too far. That's Pope. And so I think that Cleo needs to kind of hone it in, because I think Cleo's a good balance of those things.
Mhm.
So let's rate our Pogues. Okay. For me, it's JJ, then John B, then Pope, then Key. Those are my Pogues.
Okay. Mine's JJ, Key, John B, Pope.
John B is 3rd. Wow.
Yeah, over Key. Yeah. He's boring too. Like, yeah. I mean, that's why I didn't say much about him. I mean, I don't have anything bad to say about him, but I don't have anything to offer. They're okay for me.
Amanda,
They're like,
what about you two?
Mine would be John B, JJ, Key, and Pope. It would go in that order.
because I would even put Sarah above John B. She would be smack in the middle for me.
If Sarah was in here, she's my 3rd favorite.
Same.
It would go
She would be
John
my
B,
3rd.
JJ, Sarah, Key, Pope.
Just my last 2 would be reversing that.
Yeah, mine is the same as Amanda's. Sarah would be pretty high on my list, though.
Only JJ first over John B for me.
AJ first over everybody.
Yeah. Over everybody. Yes, 100%.
Over every other single person on that show, JJ is.
Oh,
first.
absolutely.
Eve,
Absolutely.
what's your number? What's your order of Pogues?
JJ, John B, Pope, Key.
Yeah. Okay. So Eve and I had the same list. Even I had the same mindset today. My twin is a little off her kilter. Something's off there. Jeanette, you need to go like for a cleanse or something.
See, I had my list before because I watched this first. So it's you that needs to get on board.
But it's me who's usually right.
Mm,
All right, so now we're gonna move on to the Kooks. Kooks are the wealthy. What do they call? Where do the Pogues live? The cut?
the cut.
Pogues live on the cut.
Yeah,
Below the
Pope's
cut.
live out on the
Below
cut.
the cut.
And
They
then
live on figure 8.
yeah, the
Figure
Kooks
eight.
live on figure 8.
Mhm.
So Ward is the papa, right? He's the dad of Sarah
Daddy.
and Rafe. I'm not gonna feed your
I mean,
weird
I-
fetish here.
You lobbed that one up to me, so I had to take it.
I
Daddy Ward is
telepathically
what I'm gonna
knew,
call him.
subconsciously knew you would enjoy that, but on the surface, we're like, no, was not sure. Oh, I just got all of my hair in my coffee. Um, well, so Ward is Sarah and Rafe's dad. he is a psycho. But you don't see that at first. Like at first, I'm like, oh, I like him.
I do too.
Where's a good guy? I like this. And then I
He
was like,
seemed very decent at the
Yes.
very beginning. The first
Right?
handful of episodes, he seemed like a good.
mm-hmm.
Then he tried to kill John B for gold on his boat, and I was like, I don't like this.
Yep.
I mean, it was a little before that for me because I figured out what kitchen they were in when Peterkin dropped that ice pick off. Like, what did you do, Ward? But then a part of me kind of thought, well, those guys he killed were bad dudes.
Yeah.
So I can justify he killed bad people.
Yeah.
But then I remembered that there was another guy that was killed with an ice pick. Or not with an ice pick, but killed. Like,
Yeah.
So I was really bummed. And like he hid his crazy so well. Like, so well. Because he hides it. And that's what makes him crazier, is because he hides it under, I just love my family. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what he believes in his head. I mean,
because he's crazy.
yeah. It's like, I do think that we get, or at least for me, I took it as I saw glimpses, and maybe it was in the flashback with Big John or whatever, that he isn't, it's like he didn't want to be that, but it's like this greed and this like need to have this just took over him and caused him to do all these things. Like I would go as far to say I don't think he has like his heart is all bad, because I do think he loves his family, and somehow in his twisted mind, I mean, I'm not saying it's logical, I'm just saying that in his mind he truly believes that he is doing what he needs to do to provide for his family and to have these things for his family, and he is justifying it. It's a messed up justification. Like I'm not saying any different, but I do think he loves his family, just in a weird, like psychotic kind of way, but he does.
In a weird, I'm gonna kill my daughter if she won't follow me sort of way.
Well, yeah. I mean, like I know he's definitely messed up.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And like that's another thing, when he was with John B's dad on the boat, I was like, oh, okay, he didn't mean to kill him. Okay, that was just an accident. He's gonna call the cops. And like he fooled me every single time. I'm like, wait,
and I think
you didn't call the cops.
Because I think he was going to, and then that grief clicked on, and he was like, no, wait. But
I think that's what makes him so dangerous, is because he can convince you so easily he's gonna do the right thing.
Yeah.
And he fooled me almost every single time. Like, oh, okay, no, wait, what? No. I mean, the Peterkin thing, I wasn't fooled by that time. I was onto him by the time he let her die.
Yeah.
So then I knew he wasn't really calling anybody. Also, he disconnect the radio by that point when he was calling the cops. Was the radio already disconnected?
But even then, like in a weird, twisted way, and I'm playing devil's advocate here, he was protecting Rafe, because if she had lived, like she would have told him it was Rafe that shot me and not, John B. So
and she was going to arrest Ward.
Yeah. So I mean,
that time, the issue there was not that she was shot, because he didn't want her to be shot.
Right.
Even when Rafe came out, he's like, what did you do? And he was pissed that Rafe did that. Yeah. But he did let her die.
With even the Big John thing, it was an accident. He was not, Big John was trying to change the terms of their agreement, which I may be in the minority here, but I think that was wrong of him at the last moment.
I agree with you there.
Come in and say, like, we're going to change our agreement here after, yes, maybe you'd been looking for this longer, but like Ward said, without his resources, you wouldn't have found it.
And the only reason he was changing the terms is because he found the gold.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's not right.
It's just in those moments, it's like Ward didn't mean these bad things to happen, but he just wasn't going to do anything to correct them. So.
And I think once he did it once, he realized, okay, I can get away with this. So if I need to do it again, it's always there.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
It is.
But when I did like him, and I actually rewind the scene when I get to it, is when Topper's in there calling his daughter a slut, and Ward comes out, I'm like, yes! Strangle that kid until all of his lights go out, please. I feel that way about Rafe.
That's what we all wanted.
I don't feel that way about Rafe anymore. But
I
Topper is
also,
the worst human being.
Right? I also feel this way. I was telling Eve about it earlier. In the scene where he goes and he like beats the crap out of Barry. Like for like, I'm sorry, it was hot and I liked it. And that was another moment he was standing up for his kid, and I was into it. And
I liked it.
was. I'm not going to apologize for that. I know I'm not the only one out there that was attracted to him getting all fierce like that. So,
Oh,
And that
well,
one too, he was gonna walk away, wasn't he? But Barry kept going.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Amanda?
Barry doesn't know when to shut up. So
no, I was just going to say, I am completely on the Daddy Ward train.
Please stop calling him Daddy Ward.
no, he's Daddy Ward from now on. I'm just going to
he
say.
can't be.
I've called him that in the past, Jeanette. I know you have as well. If we've talked about him, we
Yep.
call him Daddy Ward.
And he's beautiful too. So just like, why are you
Yes,
so
Daddy.
mean? I know where you were going with that.
That's why I
Rain.
was so bummed out that
Yeah.
he turned out to be evil, because he's always going to be Deacon
Exactly. And that's what I was going to say, Maureen. You
from
just-
Nashville. So I'm like,
Oh,
this
watch
man's
Nashville.
evil. And I was like, Deacon, don't.
he's an amazing man there. And Connie Britton's in it. It's a good show. Check it out sometime.
I've watched Nashville.
It's good.
Great music.
I love Nashville. I didn't finish it though. I'm not caught up.
I didn't finish it after Rain had died.
I think too that with the one thing I did like about no, not the one thing, because I did like when Barry got his butt kicked by Ward, because Barry had that coming and then some. Someone needs to take that guy out, because I hate that guy worse than I hate Topper, which is saying something pretty significant.
Me too. Yeah.
But when Rafe was like, I'm sorry, Dad, I won't do it again, and Rafe or Ward was finally being a father, being like, no, don't come home. I can't. I mean, at that point in time, when I watched it the first time through, I was like, good, finally, you're being a parent to this kid. You haven't been one the whole time. But then when we get into season 2, I'm like, wow, you have failed this kid spectacularly. And we are going to move into Rafe, and we're going to go into Rafe in just a minute. But the one thing I want to say about Ward and Rafe is in that scene that I think the most painful, most poignant, most heartbreaking scene in this entire series so far, like bar none, I don't think anything else even comes close. I'm getting emotional thinking about it. Holy crap. I'm going to blame my hormones. But when they're on that pier and Rafe is talking about how he wanted to kill her, and he kept saying, Dad, there's something wrong. Like, oh my goodness. And he was saying, Dad, there's something wrong with me. I want to do this. I need help. And Ward just kept saying, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine. And then Rafe stood up and he started like beating his head and saying, no, something's wrong. I can't see this kid understands that this is not who he is. There is something wrong in his head. He's screaming at you, Dad, get me out of this mess. Fix me. Bring me to somewhere I can be fixed. And his dad just like, put a Band-Aid on it. You're fine.
Yeah.
I think that's why I hate Ward so much.
Yeah.
Because he is the reason Rafe is suffering. Make no mistake. He is the reason Rafe suffers the way he does. I will always hate Ward for that.
Absolutely.
I think there's something definitely wrong with Rafe, and his parents not getting him help. Is
what happened to their mom? Do we know?
We don't know. There's a lot. Everything I've read says they think that we'll see her this coming season.
Okay.
It's nothing for fact. That's just people's.
She ran away with Big John.
I think she was gone way before that.
Yeah.
I don't think she's been around for a very long time.
She hasn't. Yeah.
The only thing we're not clear on is Wheezy. Who is Wheezy?
We don't know if Wheezy belongs to Rose or
the real mom.
She calls Rose stepmom.
Does she? Okay.
See, I've looked it up too, and nobody's caught that.
She called Rose stepmom in the scene where they are when they found the art on the wall in that one room in the house.
Okay.
I mean, I assumed that because she's like 13, Sarah's 16. So there's not that big of an age difference between the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's dig into Rafe a little bit here.
Okay. So before we dive into Rafe, I just want to explain that I do not think he's a good person. I do not.
I didn't even debate that.
I don't know how to word this because I don't think he's a good person.
I think he is.
I think he could have been, but I'm not sure that he is. But I think he is by far, even more so than even though JJ is my favorite, I think he is the most interesting and entertaining character on the show. And that is solely, in my opinion, because of Drew Starkey's acting abilities. The man is phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
100%.
you've got Rafe who tries to drown his sister. He shoots the sheriff. I mean, he does all these different things, but yet you're still like, oh, but I feel bad for you.
But it's because they're all protecting the man who has told him that's his only job.
Yeah. But I feel like a lot of times I mean, I like them crazy, but typically I draw the line at like trying to murder your sister. I mean, I do have boundaries, guys.
Yeah.
But in this case, like I feel for him. I like want them to redeem him because I do like his character and I want it to be acceptable for me to like him.
Okay, see, I agree with you on that. I kept thinking I really hope that they redeem or try to redeem Rafe in this next season. I don't know if that'll happen. I don't know. I feel like he's murdered too much now. I feel like he's gone too far.
But here's the thing though. I think that, and I'm usually the opposite of Jeanette with like that attitude of man. But weirdly, we're always attracted to the same one though. For the most part, like Taylor Kitsch, Tim Riggins, 100%.
I had to go and mention his name in the podcast.
I can't not because that's the
my
biggest
pen?
relation to.
I have been good over here. You and Amanda both have mentioned yours.
I did
Oh,
once.
you did it first.
I have not.
You're thinking
Only
it
one.
now, though.
I
You
am
guys
now.
set me up on that too. That I don't feel like that should count against me.
It counts.
Oh, it's absolutely.
You asked me who my favorite character was.
We're talking about other
The rest of us understood. You're the one that went straight to Ian.
I misunderstood the assignment.
There it is.
But I think with Rafe, so like I don't typically like this, and I don't like it in him either, but I don't think he has any control over his mental state. So I don't think it's actually him that's responsible. He has something wrong in his brain. He has an actual physical chemical imbalance that is causing him to be these two, because you see the two different personalities. And that's what I think is great about Drew Starkey. You can almost see the flip. You can almost see it completely change the moment it changes. There's that one scene when he's, and this one breaks my heart too, when he's out there talking about himself and he's like beating himself in the head and he's talking to himself, like, and then he pulls his hand away and his facial expression is completely different.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's almost like Jekyll and Hyde. I don't think he even recognizes when he's in there that it's happening. So it's technically not even him. So I would wager to say he is a good person, but he needs mental help.
Absolutely. And medication.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Therapy, medication, all of that, please.
So what else do we have to say about Rafe?
He's pretty.
He is.
He is pretty.
I'll just throw that out
I'll
there.
give him that. Okay. Rafe, he's pretty sometimes to me.
I'll go with that.
There's
I would
sometimes
agree.
where I get a picture of him and I'm like, I do not find him attractive at all.
Yeah,
And
same.
then all of a sudden I'll get a picture and I'm like, whoa.
Dang.
This is probably going to make me sound even more crazy, but
Well, yeah.
like if I would have, sometimes when I see just plain pictures of Drew Starkey, not that he's not an attractive man, he is, but it's not like this, like, oh my God. But when I see him flip into psychopath Rafe, I get that feeling. I do. I know it's embarrassing, but
Oh, Drew Starkey, please come on the show. Please, please, please.
but God, I need him to be in character a little bit.
Please don't. I don't.
I'll do the interview by myself. I will do it.
Oh, there'd be some weird role play. That'd just be odd.
Just call it role play. I do feel that there cannot be enough said for how he hones his craft.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's really like you watch teen dramas and you watch these Netflix shows and there's good actors.
Yeah.
There are. But when you can actually see an actor actively flip a switch without saying a word and become two completely different people within the span of seconds, I think that speaks to a special kind of skill.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The only other
bravo,
people
Drew.
that I can think of that have those skills are on the Vampire Diaries when we see like Elena to Catherine or like Stefan when he goes into Ripper Stefan. Like there are only a few actors, in my opinion, that you can visibly see it with no words that they have just flipped into a new character. And I mean, I think Drew can do that easily.
Let's start with Sarah.
Yeah, let's talk Sarah.
Sarah.
I like her. But when we first met Sarah, she was, she was kind of shooing the birds away. Like the birds are having a field, like they were trying to get at the mice. She was like, the birds are having a field day. So I kind of pegged her as a little airhead.
Yeah.
At first.
That's what I thought too.
Just because of that one scene. But the thing is that when I first watched, because so much was going on, so there were a lot of things that I missed. So when I first watched, for some reason, I thought that had been Wheezy, who was shooing birds away. But then when I watched the second time, I was like, oh, wait, that was Sarah doing that. So, but yeah, I definitely thought she was an airhead at first. And my opinion on her changed a lot before I finally settled on, I really like this girl. She's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did like her at first because she gave John B the time of day. Like she was sarcastic with him, but she was, she was just kind of being a teenager who was weirdly flirting with somebody else who's very beautiful.
Yeah.
And then that, of course, the day when they go off to where it wasn't Charleston they went to. Where'd they go?
They went to the library.
Yeah, but where was it at?
Where it was.
I can't remember either.
But they go on to
you
a
said
mainland.
Charleston. Now it's all I can think of is Charleston right now.
Because that comes later, I think. I think Charleston is later, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or did they just go there twice?
I gotta look it up. I felt like it was Charleston.
Maybe it was.
Because I think Charleston's fairly close to like the Outer Banks. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up.
Well, yeah, because it's in They say how long it takes to get there when
Charleston.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it is Charleston.
So obviously that time when we see them talking together and we see how I like her then, but then she has these moments where it's like, come on, knock it off. For instance, when she can't understand that Topper's still into her when they come back, like, for real, like you know how insane he is, and you're still gonna hang out with him. And then that scene after John B and her break up, and I'm gonna use air quotes because I don't think they ever really did. They say they did, but come on.
Yeah.
But when she sees him talking to this girl and I get you're jealous, I get it. But then she doesn't see anything. She's like, we're just friends. Of course we're friends. He had his arm around you. He's giving you drinks. He's dancing with you. He's trying to kiss you. Like, you're not that stupid, Sarah. You're not that stupid that he's feeding you breakfast in bed and hiding you from his family. You're not that stupid. Yeah. So there are moments like that where she really irritated me.
Yeah.
But I think it's because she was feeding off of the energy he was giving her.
Those are the only moments that I really, because I like Sarah a lot.
I do too.
I dislike Topper a lot.
Whoa, so much.
I think she did him dirty. I mean, in their time together. I mean, I think when you think about her being off, like we said in Charleston with John B, and she comes back, and I mean, she just very coldly dropped him. And I don't think it was right because it was clear that they were considering having sex together. So, I mean, obviously they had been in a relationship long enough that there were feelings involved. And I think she did him dirty. And I don't like him at all. So, like, but I still think he deserved better than what she gave him in that, however she ended things.
When they were almost having sex, it was because he said, I love you. And she realized she didn't love him. So she couldn't go through with it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he got mad that she wouldn't go through with it.
Yeah.
So that for me, I'd be like, all right, you no longer deserve consideration. I'm going to do what I'm going to do.
But I still think she never communicated that to him. And that's the problem, that you sort of just left him hanging and then you came back and you were just cold and like gone. I mean, communicate yourself. I mean, like, so that bothered me a little bit.
And that also is a Ward thing.
Yeah.
Because Ward requested, she wanted to do something about it right away. And Ward requested she not do anything.
That's true.
He said, just wait until after my big day and then break up with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she's also 16. I mean, or she's playing 16.
Yeah.
So
I know. I sometimes forget that these kids are 16 in the show. So like.
Because aren't they all, how old are they? They're all in their 20s, right?
Yeah. Like
John B's like almost my age. He's
is he really?
29. He's 29 right now.
I thought they were like young 20s. I thought all of them were young 20s.
The rest of them are. John B's. That's why I like John B the most, I think. Not why.
Amanda's like, because I don't like them young guys. I like
because I don't feel so bad.
Drew Starkey's the same age, so
it's true. That's true.
Rudy's
JJ, he's a baby.
He's pretty
So
young.
cute.
Really?
He's only like 22 or 23. He's pretty young.
Well, that's a bummer to hear.
It's pretty. I mean, I could almost be his mom if I'm being serious about thinking about this. So, I mean, I'm 39. If he's 22,
Okay, yeah.
I could.
I had to do math. I'm not an accountant like some other people.
Definitely a cougar in this situation, but that's okay.
To be fair, I don't want to do anything with JJ. He's just my favorite. Okay, we all know
None of the rest of us say anything.
We're all just like, well, I'm not going to chime in there. So, moving on.
I'm not on this train.
If any of you guys come on this podcast, I will not be sexually advancing on you.
Well, I won't be advancing.
I won't either. I'm a married woman, but in my head,
In our dreams, we can do lots of different things, you know?
Oh,
What else do we have to say about Sarah? I do like her though. I think that she's a little, where Key is very petty, Sarah is very, very quick to assumptions.
yeah.
Up to assumptions.
I would venture to say that, I mean, I didn't really think about it till Eve was just talking about her shooing away like the birds. I think it makes sense from that first episode why her and Key were friends and why they would be friends.
Yeah.
I think they are very similar in their heart and their personalities. They're both fierce. They stand up for what they believe in and don't really worry about what other people are saying about it. They're both passionate.
Yeah.
Their love for all the animals, you know, I mean, Key was saving her turtles and, you know, I mean, all this stuff. So I think it's clear why they were friends and why they needed to be friends again.
That's true. And I did feel genuinely bad for her when we all thought her dad died.
I did too, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
I did not think her dad died.
I didn't think he died
Alright,
either.
Eve.
But when
I
she
was
thought he
not-
did, I was like, there's no way.
I got mad at her when her dad died because she got mad at John B.
Okay, well, here's you're not gonna like what I have to say next. I was mad at John B because I understand his position, but this is a girl that you supposedly love, and regardless of what has happened, that's still her dad. I mean,
Yeah.
like, and obviously she still has love for him, and you couldn't take just a second to comfort her, like just a second.
To be
No.
fair to John B, I agree with you. I do. I really, really do. But to be fair to John B,
He almost cheered. I mean, like,
Topper barely let a millisecond go by before he was literally laying over the top of Sarah comforting her. And by the time John looked down, Topper's like hoarding his body over her body.
I don't know. I remember watching that scene and thinking like,
Do you not remember how fast he got out there?
I mean, John B was right next to her. The person that he loves, he almost cheered. I don't mind that he didn't reach for her immediately. It was his pure joy on his face that her father was dead.
Well, also,
Especially coming from someone who you think your father is dead. So you know what that pain feels like. And you,
yeah, but he just got that, like,
I don't know.
the guy who killed my dad got revenge.
The guy who
So,
killed
I
all these
think
other
that-
people.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it was right. I think he should have comforted Sarah. I do. But if I like the way you put it. If I'm trying to think about John B, he's trying to also think this is the guy who killed my dad and I just got revenge. And he's taking that in and he's like, how do I comfort this girl when I don't feel like that at all?
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know. I just think that for me, I think the feeling of wanting to comfort her should have been more than your feeling of
I'd agree
joy
with
in
that.
your revenge moment.
I
That's
just
just my theory.
where I take issues.
But
I
again,
think
they're
he should
kids.
have comforted her. I
They're
think he
kids
should have
again,
done that.
So, yeah.
I think they both did wrong things.
Yeah.
I agree with
kind
that.
of in that part.
And
They both-
Topper jumped right in there. He saw an opening and he slid right in. I mean, you can't blame him for it, I guess.
Speaking of Topper,
Yeah, you can.
speaking of Topper,
God, I hate
Yes.
Topper.
Go ahead, Amanda.
We're
Talk
gonna
about this bubbling buffoon.
We're giving you Topper because we
All
felt
right.
like you hated him the least
Less.
of us. Yeah.
yeah, because I don't hate Topper.
I hate that
Okay.
guy.
Well, tell
I
us
don't.
why.
I don't hate him. He's not my favorite. I mean,
If you were to say he was, you would be booted from this right now.
yeah, like he's definitely not my favorite. I think the cell phone tracking her is very creepy.
So strange.
So
Hey,
Topper,
what we need to point out about that though is that Rafe thought it was creepy. Rafe thought tracking her cell phone was creepy.
If Rafe thinks it's creepy, then it's creepy.
That should be your dial of, am I doing the right thing or not? If the psychopath thinks it's wrong, you're probably headed in the wrong direction.
Yep.
Definitely.
Sorry, talk about Topper.
Let me give a very brief. We're not going to spend that much time on Topper. So really brief.
I want to air my grievances.
This athletic, nationally ranked surfer who is.
I forgot about that.
I didn't even know that about him. This is how much I don't like him.
I don't think I ever really knew that.
I don't
No
remember.
idea. I saw his face and I was like, man, I don't like him. I probably didn't pay attention at all. There was something so weird about him. I don't mean like Austin North. I love his face. It's beautiful. But like something about the Topper's face. I just was like, I don't care for you even a little bit. So
I don't care for him, but like I like him better than Rafe.
I do not.
So
I like Ward better than I like
feel
Topper.
like he actually did try to help Sarah. Really, at the end, I feel like he was getting a little bit better. I don't know.
He had glimpses. He had glimpses of moments where I felt like he was gonna do the right thing.
Okay,
but then he
so,
went back to being creepy.
Can you give me an
That's
instance
good.
of,
I think he can redeem himself more than Rafe could come in and redeem himself.
give me an
probably
instance of
true.
when he tried to do the right thing?
Yeah.
No, give me an instance of when he tried to do the right thing.
Oh my gosh. No, like more towards the end when he helped Sarah. I can't remember what exactly he helped her with. He helps her a lot.
Because like originally when she drowned, I was like, oh, he helped her out of there. No, he helped her up because he's been tracking her and stalking her, and that's why he helped her. So
Well,
yeah,
he
good
still
job. You
helped
helped her
her.
not drown, but you were also like being a creep about it. And then
I mean, I guess I am with him. I mean, if it had not been for Topper, Rafe would have murdered his sister. So there is that.
He saved her, and that's what made me feel like he could come back and be redeemable. And I still feel that way, and I'm not going to back down until I be proven otherwise.
You see, I feel that everything Topper does, it's not for other people. It's for Topper, and to make Topper feel good, and to make Topper look good.
to be fair, I will hand it to him that I don't think it's just that. But I do think it's close. I think that everything Topper does is so that Topper can have Sarah in a creepy way.
Yeah,
I think
he's
that's
obsessed with her.
everything.
And I don't want him and Sarah to get together, which I'm really scared about Sarah and John B.
No, me too.
Probably not this next season, but going forward.
Well, maybe this next
Because
season.
of real life.
I don't think they filmed yet, have they? So this season.
Have they not filmed yet?
I don't think they've started.
Oh, darn it.
Yeah.
Well, here's what I think about Rafe and Topper, though. I think that Rafe actually has a medical imbalance in his mind that can be fixed with medication, and he can be redeemed because once he's on medication, he will actually be who he is. Creepy, crazy, disturbing stalker is who Topper is. He doesn't have a chemical imbalance. He's just a flaming creep who is disturbing.
Well, he's had a rougher upbringing too. His mom was not good to him.
Rougher than who?
Well, I mean, JJ has it rougher.
Even Rafe has it
I'm
harder.
saying out of like the Kooks. Really.
Rafe has it harder than him. That scene in The Office when Ward hugs him and says, I love you, the look on Rafe's face, like he's never been hugged by this man before, never heard the words I love you before. That's what brought tears to Raife's eyes, because his dad actually said, I love you, son. And he didn't even know what to do with himself. Yeah, Topper's mom is a wench.
She is.
Yeah.
I mean, I just feel like none of these kids have like
No
amazing parents.
I'll give you that, except for Pope. I think Popes
are the closest. Yeah.
Popes are the closest, but they're still not like number ones.
I
think they are.
I liked
Or maybe in the
Pope's
show.
In the cross storyline, I started liking Pope's dad a lot more
Mhm.
when he said,
Yeah.
well, I wasn't interested before, but now I am.
Yeah.
I guess I'm wanting the parents to like help these kids out.
Oh,
sometimes,
absolutely.
And they don't.
I
Yeah.
want
I
them
guess
to
they
be
don't really give them a
parents.
choice, but
Like,
I agree.
love your kids, be an adult.
Mhm.
I mean, that's why as much as I don't like Key's parents, I don't I don't really dislike him either because I feel like they're actually being parents.
Yeah. I
You know,
agree.
they're actually the ones with their head on their shoulders. Like, no, you can't leave for days on end with this boy. And no,
I
you
agree.
can't do that. You need to come home.
The
If I
thing
look
I
at it-
don't like there is if it would have been a kook, they would have been like, yeah, go ahead. It's because of who it was. It's because it was a
Yeah.
Pogue, not
Yeah.
a kook. If it would have been Topper and Kels that asked, they would have been like, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, Kels
Did
is
try
another
to-
one.
Kels is the worst. I don't know. I don't
He's-
like him.
I think I hate him more than I do
Topper is
Rafe.
the worst.
Something about Kels though. Like there's nothing that I like about him. Not even a little bit.
No, I
There's
don't.
nothing redeemable about him.
When my boy was in that closet, he
I
just-
knew you were gonna bring that up.
Your boy was so dumb in that closet though.
I
Like,
know he was. I know
like
he
come
was.
on, John B.
But we forgive him.
It's like
Thank
nobody
you.
wants to hear about how much you love Sarah. They want to hear that you don't love Sarah.
I think
And
Topper
then
did a
they're
little
like,
bit.
That was a bad idea.
That whole scene is hilarious.
I like when Topper's like, did you, I'm not gonna say the word, obviously. He's like, did you F her? And Chubby's like, don't use that word, man.
I mean, I'm like, that's so sweet and chivalrous that you are defending her honor right now, but just say no. Like, just lie, John B. Like,
you want to get out. Say what you need to do to get out.
Okay, let's look at this from John B's perspective. Were those two ever gonna let him out no matter what he said? I mean, their
No,
track
no.
record shows that there's not a chance on this green earth that
Yeah.
either one of those two dudes is gonna do anything that's redeemable or kind. There's just no way.
I don't think so.
And the other thing about Topper too is that it's not so much about with Sarah being with Sarah just because, hey, we belong together. It's a lot of, we are genetically better than the Pogues. So you
Yeah.
belong with me. I'm yours because I'm a kook and I've staked my claim and therefore you belong to me. And if you don't, I'm going to hunt you to the ends of the earth and tie you up and make you my slave.
so weird.
He gives like sex trade vibes off. Like he's,
Like, he's so weird.
don't like his, I'm sure he's a nice dude. I'm sure that that guy is, I mean, he's a good actor because he
Yeah,
really
because-
makes me hate his character.
Yeah.
Way
He
to give it
is
your all.
Right?
He's a good actor. He is.
I will
Absolutely.
say he does have moments where I'm like, oh, I like you. But
Yeah.
then he becomes so crazy, obsessive stalker that I'm like, oh, danger, danger, danger.
They're very fleeting moments. Like, oh no.
Yeah. And like I can more easily forgive Rafe because Rafe actually has a reason for why he's doing these things he's doing. He almost blacks out when he's doing the bad things. Topper's very much, and though he so cavalierly said, oh, never mind, I'll just track her on my phone. That scene blows my mind because Rafe actually stopped and went, "Wait, are you tracking her on your phone?" Like,
Yeah.
read the room, Topper. Read the room.
Psychopath thinks you're crazy. So
Hopper just thinks Rafe's crazy enough to where he can just get away with that. That's funny.
And then Topper was so mad when she didn't want to be with him. I will say he did do something nice when he said, I'll prove to you I love you more. And then he covered for her and John B to let them get away.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But if he would have added it there, I would have liked his character.
Yeah, true.
But he continued to come back and stalk and find and seek. And like, you had a
It's
moment
not
there, man. You
about-
could have left on a high note.
it's not about being a good person. It's about getting Sarah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the fact that he got mad at her when she didn't want to go through sex, that was kind of like, okay. So anything else we want to say about Topper?
I don't think so.
No.
done. Yeah.
So let's put our Kooks in order of, should we do most favorite to least favorite or least favorite to most favorite?
Most favorite to least favorite.
Okay. So I would go, well, I'm actually debating between Rafe and Sarah for my top
Me
spot.
too.
All right, Jen, what is your top four then? You're debating between those two. What's your top four?
Okay, my top four is Rafe, Sarah, Ward, and Topper.
I think that's mine.
It's the correct order.
Mine would be Sarah. Oh, Sarah,
It's tough.
Ward, Topper, Rafe.
What?
Amanda.
Wow.
Rafe.
You gotta have
Ooh,
one in
if
every
you
group.
Don't love
I'm
Rafe.
that one. I really don't like Rafe. I really don't like Rafe.
Okay, what don't you like about Rafe? I mean, other than the fact that he's a psychopath.
Peterton.
I mean, ignore that he like tried to murder his sister
and tried to kill Sarah.
Because those weren't his fault.
And yeah. He could go bring himself to the hospital if he really wanted to. He had choices.
And when you're in the middle of a psychotic break and you are not getting help, you're doing a medication, I don't think you can do that.
Amanda's judging the mentally ill right now, and I'm not happy about it.
I'm mentally ill too. It's okay. We can judge each other.
Jeanette tried to get all the internet to show up at Amanda's house with pitchforks right now.
Sorry, we all judge each other.
Probably true.
All right, Eve, what about you?
I think mine is Sarah, Rafe, Ward, Topper.
Very good.
The same as
I
ours.
like the cool kids.
She got Sarah first, which is fine.
I have Sarah first. Oh, you have Ray first. Yeah. Rafe is last. I'm sorry, I can't. Maybe he can come back and redeem himself. You guys can ask me next season. Right now, he's last.
Honestly, I think that because Ward kind of keeps him there. Ward almost intentionally, because it serves Ward's purposes, Ward almost intentionally keeps him crazy. Tells him, no, there's nothing wrong with you. And he's so, like all these kids are so connected to their parents' ideas and thoughts about them that they almost can't break away. John B's the same way. Like he can't break away from his dad. He can't sever that. And Ward keeps Rafe here. So he can't go get help.
I think Rafe has helped make Topper crazy.
Oh, I don't think so.
I blame Rafe for that as well.
I think Topper was full on crazy before.
I think Rafe just gave Topper an outlet.
Hopefully, maybe Mama Cameron will show back up and she will be able to help Rafe.
Oh, that'll be so good.
Yes, please.
Oh, the one thing we didn't mention about Rafe, by the way, and I think Bear's mentioning, is that they said this has been a problem with Rafe since he was a child. They said, even when you were 10, your father was afraid of you. Like, why have you not? This boy is almost 20 years old. Why have you ignored this? So that's why I prefer Rafe, because he actually has an issue that everyone has ignored his entire life, but has acknowledged, no, dude's scary.
Because he has a very fixable problem.
He does. If someone would care enough to fix him. And I get that he killed Peter Kid, but even with that, it was, but Dad, I saved you. You needed saving, Dad. I saved you.
Yeah. Wow.
And that was the moment, by the way, that Ward realized what an asset Rafe would be to him. And then he's like, okay, we're going to keep you here now.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, wait, I changed my list.
Yes.
Yes.
Rafe is still at the bottom line.
He is.
No, actually, I'll switch him and Ward.
Okay.
I'll
take
go
that.
Sarah, Topper, Ward, and Rafe.
Rafe is still at the bottom.
Oh, wait. Switch those. Rafe,
Sarah,
Topper, Rafe, Ward.
I'll give you that.
That's fine.
Because also when Ward pretty much just turns on Sarah, I'm thinking about that really pissed me off.
I think
so. I was like, no, I can't forgive Rafe for killing Sarah. And then I thought about Ward doing that, and I was like, man, that's her dad.
Yeah. But the only reason I have Rafe above top or Ward above Topper is because Ward at least acknowledges what I'm doing is messed up. What I'm doing is really not okay. Doesn't make him a good dude. Doesn't make his. I don't agree with almost any of his decisions. I actually don't like Ward at all. I just like Topper less because Topper thinks, no, this is all normal. This is all totally fine what I'm doing.
That's more my issue. Like even like Rafe and Ward, I feel like sort of own they're crazy. Whereas Topper's just like, what, man, I'm just tracking her on the phone. Like it's not a big deal, like to stalk someone who you're not even dating anymore. Like it's not okay when you are dating them, but it's definitely not okay when you've already broken up and you are still stalking her. Like,
and you know that the stalking is going to lead to something much more dangerous at some point. And stalking is the beginning signs of abuse. So this is going to become a domestic abuse situation and they're teenagers. So let's see if you agree with our lists. Some lists are more correct than others are.
Let's do that on the group.
Yeah. So we want to know what your order of Pogue is. Your options are John B, JJ, Key, and Pope. Yes, we understand Sarah is a Pogue at heart, but we're not putting her with the Pogues. So John B, JJ, Key, Pope. What is your order from favorite to least favorite? For the Pogue or Kooks, Ward, Rafe, Sarah, and Topper. Least favorite to least favorite. What is your order? Did we get it right? I mean, did some of us get it right?
I did.
We want to know what you think. So hit us up in our email. You can get us at familyfanclub2021@gmail.com. Reach out to our group on Facebook that we have. Let's start getting discussion going there because we're hoping season 3 is going to start filming soon, and we want to share those pictures. We want to share videos, news clips, all that stuff with you. Get with a group of people that like to talk about OBX because it's a phenomenal show. If you are not watching OBX, what is wrong with you? Go watch it on Netflix.
Right.
Binge it. There's only 10 episodes per season. There's only 2 seasons. It's a quick 2-day watch.
So bingeable. Watch it.
You don't need sleep. Just watch the show.
Fine without sleep. I'm totally normal.
Good.
Do it in 2 days. Catch up on it. It's on Netflix. But join us in our Facebook group, Outer Banks Pogue Family Fan Club. You can also find us on all of our social media under Fandom Family Chats. So reach out to us there and find us. Talk to us. And let us know what you think. Let us know what you want to see, what you don't want to see. Next week, we are talking Resident and Grey's Anatomy is back next week. Woo-hoo. So, have those 2 next week. Stay tuned. We'll see you later. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.